Italian orthography uses a variant of the Latin alphabet consisting of 21 letters to write the Italian language alphabet. The base alphabet consists of 21 letters, 5 vowels and 16 consonants. The letters J, K, W, X and Y are not part of the proper alphabet, and are used only for loanwords and foreign names. In addition, grave, acute and circumflex accents may be used to modify vowel letters. Vowels. The Italian alphabet has 5 vowel letters, A, I, O, U. Of those, only A represents one sound value while each of the others has 2. In addition, E and I indicate a different pronunciation of a preceding C or G. In stressed syllables, E represents both open and close E. Similarly, O represents both open and close O. There is typically no orthographic distinction between the open and closed sounds represented, though accent marks are used in certain instances. In unstressed syllables, only the close variants occur except before sonorants. In addition to representing the respective vowels I and U also typically represent the semivowels J and with, respectively, when unstressed and occurring before another vowel. Many exceptions exist. Unstressed I may represent that a preceding or following C or G is soft. C and G. Normally, C and G represent the plosives K and, respectively, unless they precede a front vowel when they represent the affricates T and D. The letter I may also function merely as an indicator that the preceding C or G is soft E. G, C, I, G, I, U. When the hard pronunciation occurs before a front vowel, digraphs CH and GH used, so that CH represents K or K, and K represents K or KJ. In the evolution of the Latin language, the post-alveolar affricates T and D were contextual variants of the velar consonants K and. They eventually came to be full phonemes, and the said orthographic practice was introduced to distinguish them. The phonemicity of the affricates can be demonstrated with the minimal pairs. The trigraphs CCH and GGH are used to indicate geminated K and, respectively, when they occur before I or E, G, Oki, KKI, Aghinda, Aindari. G is also used to mark that following L or N is palatal, I, E, N, respectively. The digraph SC is used before E and I to represent before other vowels. Psi is used. Otherwise, SC represents SK, the C of which follows the normal orthographic rules explained above. Other than a few northern Italian dialects, intervocali N and are always geminated and no orthographic distinction is made to indicate this. S and Z are ambiguous to voicing. S represents a dental sibilant consonant. However, these two phonemes are in complementary distribution everywhere except between two vowels in the same word, and, even in such environments, there are very few minimal pairs. It is voiceless at the start of a word before a vowel, or a voiceless consonant after any consonant, before a voiceless consonant in the group SS at the start of the second part of a compound word. These words are formed by adding a prefix to a word beginning with per second. It is voiced before voiced consonants. It can be either voiceless or voiced between vowels. In standard Tuscany-based pronunciation, some words are pronounced with per second between vowels. In northern Italy, S between vowels is always pronounced with Z, whereas in southern Italy, S between vowels is always pronounced with per second. Z represents a dental affricate consonant, either TZ or TS, depending on context, though there are few minimal pairs. It is normally voiceless at the start of a word in which the second syllable starts with a voiceless consonant. Zufola, Sufolo. Exceptions: Zafiro, Zafiro, Zotico, Zeta, Zaffarano, Zacinto. when followed by an I which is followed, in turn, by another vowel. Exceptions: as yenda, adiza, jnda, all words derived from words obeying other rules, after the letter L. Exceptions: elzeviro, elzeviro, and belzebu, belzebu, in words ending in eza, oza, or uza. Exceptions: breza, bredza, in the infinitive ending aza, in the suffixes anza, enza, and onzolo. It is voiced at the start of a word in which the second syllable starts with a voiced consonant. Exceptions: zana, sana, zigano, tsino, at the start of a word when followed by two vowels. Exceptions: zio and its derived terms, if it is single and between two single vowels. Exceptions: nazism, nazismo, in the verb suffix isre, between vowels and, or semivowels. Z pronounced as if doubled. This can be the case even if a single Z is used, specifically in words ending in zani, zionish, ziachzi, and zio. Other letters, in addition to being used to indicate a hard CG before front vowels, H is also used to distinguish ho, hi, hano from o, I, a, and o. Since H is always silent, there is no difference in the pronunciation of such words. In foreign loanwords, the H is still silent. Hovercraft, vercraft. The letters J, K, W, X and Y are used for loanwords only, with few exceptions. Diacritics. The acute accent may be used on E and O to represent close mid-vowels when they are stressed in a position other than the default second to last syllable. This use of accents is generally mandatory only in the final syllable. Elsewhere, accents are generally found only in dictionaries. Since final O is hardly ever close mid, O is very rarely encountered in written Italian. The grave accent may be used on E and O when they represent open mid-vowels. The accents may also be used to differentiate minimal pairs within Italian, but in practice use of this possibility is limited to didactic texts. In the case of final I and U, both possibilities are encountered. The by far most common option is the grave accent, though this may be due to the rarity of the acute accent to represent stress. The alternative of employing the acute is in practice limited to erudite texts, but can be justified as both vowels are high. However, since there are no corresponding low vowels to contrast with in Italian, both choices are equally acceptable. The circumflex accent can be used to mark the contraction of two vowels, especially two I's. For example, it can be used to differentiate words like geni and geni. This is especially seen in older texts, since two homophones are usually distinguished by the context.